Test, test, test. All right, test, test, test again. Test, test, test again. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jank Tank. Welcome to the second Militant Casuals Jank Tank tournament. This is JT2, the Rec Rick edition. And tonight we're streaming our first game from the first round of round robin games. Tonight we have the first overall draft pick, Charles Hutchinson, with his two aggressors and Lieutenant Sai and Sutirfel, going up against Brandon Carey, who picked somewhat later than Charles did. I think pretty late, like something like. Let me double check here. Let's see.
Hello, team.
Hello. I actually don't have exactly when Brandon drafted, but it was much later than Charles. So with me here is another of the founders of the Militant Casuals. I'm Ben. He's Rick. Say hello, Rick.
Brandon drafted around 10. Around. Not exactly, but somewhere near there.
I'm sure I can find it if I dig in. Unfortunately, when I generated the round robin pools, it changed seeds for some reason. So such is life.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah. It's not great. Not great,
Who
Bob.
designed that software?
It was me. I did it.
Oh.
Wait, no,
Well,
I
that
didn't do it.
explains
Yeah, so we've got some hot Galactic Empire on first order action here. Yes, it is true. You heard me right. Charles, drafting first, drafted a list with two TIE aggressors, and in fact subbed an ion cannon, no, subbed a veteran turret gunner onto one of them, so that he could have both of them double tapping with ion cannon turrets. Not only was a TIE aggressor among lists that was first off our draft board, but the second list picked in our draft also had a TIE aggressor. Uh, the world has turned upside down. So, Rick, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you think about these two lists?
Okay. Well, I went through and did a mock draft before we all got started. And with Charles's list, I ended up placing that around 10th in my mock draft. And Brandon's, if I remember correctly, yeah, Brandon's I parked at right around. I think I parked that up in the upper pieces. I'd have to go look at it. Von Reg with Daredevil. I mean, that's such a nice touch, but honestly, I was expecting outmaneuver after having to do with outmaneuver pattern analyzer hollow. That was a pain in my butt last game or last draft tournament,
Last
whatever it's
tournament.
called. Yeah. And so I foresee the duel between Von Reg and Suntir being very, very entertaining. But Sai is incredibly powerful, and then you have two ion turret flankers. I think you have two very powerful lists here, and I'm excited to see how they play out. Avenger with the mag pulse and the ion torpedoes, like there's not a lot of wasted points in Brandon's list. In fact, Brandon doesn't really have unusable points. He just has inefficient points. Um, whereas whereas Charles straight up has an upgrade that makes his list just straight up worse, and that is angle deflectors.
Yeah,
um, he's paying like 3 points or something like that to
to
lose a
lose a
shield.
shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Brandon uh, dropped a hotshot gunner to get Daredevil on Von Reg. And I love Daredevil on the Barons. I know that this is something we've been discussing sort of behind the scenes, what the right upgrade is for the Barons. And I will say that Daredevil used appropriately is freaking fantastic. Um,
I would concur. I think it's one of the best options.
yeah.
I think Daredevil on Von Reg is very, very strong. Um, and is probably one of the better places for it. But I think each ship has its own advantage. I think Hollow does really well with Tradition. I don't know what's up with Ember. Ember might even benefit from Intimidation, just because you're trying to ram it down people's throats and then do a little bit of a Carnor Jaxing on them.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is I do think that Brandon does have a few wasted points here in that I don't think you're ever going to see Avenger fire off ion torpedoes. Um, Mag pulse warhead's pretty good situationally, but I just don't see with Avenger a tie silencer. I don't think you're going to want to be not firing the primaries when you have the opportunity. So um, which, he picked 11th. It was officially the 11th pick in the draft that Brandon picked up this list. So, not bad. And I should
I
talk a little bit about, the difference between the lists in Jank Tank 1 and Jank Tank 2. If you're new to Jank Tank, which, welcome to our Militant Casual stream. So Jank Tank, the idea is that we use the randomizer on Yasby to create literally random lists. There's a randomize option in Yasby. It's great. There is some tweaking you can do to the settings to try to get lists that are more or less janky, and also there's some editorial control that a TO can put upon the process. In the first Jank Tank, I didn't really do much editorial control. Basically, I generated random lists. Those lists were then drafted by the players based on random seeding. And Rick, who's with us, picked probably the best list for him and probably the best list in the tournament. And didn't run away with it exactly because you did lose a game, but and you had a game you tried to give away to Vince. Um, but your list I think was significantly higher on the power curve than almost every other list.
I think I lose to Daniel 3 out of 10 times, and
Well,
in that
Daniel's the Vader
and
killer, and he definitely was that first game.
exactly, I
Yeah.
think I think I lose that game 3 out of 10 times. But which means I win it 7 out of 10. So there's that. Also,
Mm.
it looks like Charles is first player.
Okay. Yeah, and let's see, because yes, Brandon would have had that option, and he wants obviously Von Ray going first. So what I did on this second pass is I wanted to have a slightly more even power curve, at least among the draftable lists. We have 4 more players. I generated 1 more list per faction than I did in the first set, and I actively threw out lists with Mace, Wedge, Vader, um, 2 with Vader actually, and there was 1 more pilot that I was just like, you know what, I don't want to see any more of this guy. And then I threw out a couple lists that just didn't have interesting choices to be made because they had no upgrades or too few upgrades. I played with the settings a little bit to try to have a more even, spread of ships. And honestly, I kept lists that had more interesting pilots that don't often get flown on the table. So there's a bunch of Hawks in this tournament, both in Rebel and in Scum. Bunch of aggressors, bunch of ships you may not normally see. So
Do
and
we
I
want to talk about that Imperial list you threw out?
uh
You messaged me about it.
well I think wasn't that one I generated like the day before? I don't know if that was officially part of the. the thing, but I threw one at you that I thought would have been too perfect for you again. That was generated randomly. Um,
I want to read it out.
go
Fifth
ahead.
brother with proton rockets, Grand Inquisitor with advanced sensors and cluster missiles, a naked Psy, and a naked
Yeah,
Karsavi.
yeah. Yeah, so that was I was yeah. So what I was doing was when I sent that to you, Rick, I was playing with the settings to see if I could get because I didn't want anybody to be stuck with 2 ships and I didn't want the 3 ship list to be just overloaded with upgrades. So I played with some of the randomizer features to see if I could get more 4 and 5 ship lists with at least enough upgrades that there's some interesting choices to be made when you know in Jank Tank you get to make a swap. You get to remove an upgrade and add an upgrade as we've kind of intimated talking about the choices that Brandon and Charles made. And so, again, I eliminated 2 lists at least that just were like, well, here's 5 ships. They're all good. There's no upgrades, so there's no choice to be made. Um,
Yeah.
and beyond that, it was really just getting rid of the known. Oh, I got rid of a quick draw list. That was the other one. I didn't want quick draw being a feature. And then I left
That
one
would be
list
a
in that
top
I
10 list.
say that again.
I said that would be a top 10 take,
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. And then I did eliminate or almost eliminate one list that really deeply scared me. Not because I'm sure it's good, but because I was afraid it was going to be degenerate or terrible, and I wasn't sure which. That list is still in the tournament. It has double upsilons. It played tonight. In fact, I think it's playing right now, and it looked like it was ahead last I checked. So anyway, that's how we got here. This time, though, the draft was based on your finish in the first Jank Tank and new players slotted in with the players who had an average finish in Jank Tank of 3-3. So I randomized the groups there. Charles did go 0-6, though he didn't play all of his games either. It was kind of whack. So he got the first pick, and I hope to be able to stream Stefan's game. Both of our Oregon players ended up with the first and second draft pick because I think that list is pretty fun and interesting too that he ended up picking. All right, so let's talk about what's actually going on the table here. We've got round one basically already finished. We've
You gotta
got
wait for Von Reg to move.
yeah. Okay, I did say basically almost finished, and it looks like Charles is contemplating barrel
There it
rolling
is.
away, which is the smart move. Um,
The real question is he gonna boost left or is he gonna wait for the coordinate?
I would just stay here to be honest. You've
Yeah.
got lots of options at this point. Brandon is very much committing to that outside lane, which means that Suntir's probably going to hightail it to the left anyway. Um, so the aggressor's not in great position to come in and put pressure on Brandon when Brandon cuts in yet. So I'd expect them to go forward a bit before they cut. I do like what Brandon's doing with Avenger. You know, using Avenger interestingly as a flanker and protecting Von Reg with his generics. And I like Charles's opening move too of keeping the shuttle together with those double tapping control ties. Really,
If
his
he's not
yeah. Go ahead.
careful, if he's not careful with Avenger, he's gonna give it up for free though.
Yeah, I think he's. I mean, Brandon is who Brandon is. We talked about this a little bit in Jank Tank 1. So Brandon is a fairly defensive player, a bit like if you watched the cut games Daniel Lim played. Brandon is a little bit like Daniel in that he will conserve hit points at all costs and thus hold on to tokens where he might have done damage and instead save it for defense. Charles is an incredibly aggressive player most of the time. I don't know that this list plays to that sort of aggression, and I give Charles props for trying something that I don't a type of list I don't see him flying a lot here locally. So I'm really interested to see what Charles does with these guys.
Yeah, that is going to be a very interesting point, and I'm excited to see what happens with it. Yeah, I what I would want to do with this if I were Charles is I'd want to actually like move Psy forward and coordinate Suntir a focus link barrel roll left and then zoom straight ahead and just dive, possibly even three bank both aggressors in, three bank barrel roll for maximum distance and just dive all three of your ships at Avenger. Because then if Avenger doesn't one or two hard in this turn, Avenger's going to be overextended and going to be caught with her pants down.
Yeah, I would expect actually with Brandon, I would expect Avenger to do a five forward and stay along that board edge and make Charles have to think before he turns in his generics.
Hmm.
Now, of course, Charles does have the advantage that he can always turn his turrets, so he can always have those ion cannons pointed wherever Avenger is, while also potentially committing to block um,
No,
uh, the ties, etc.
no,
Um,
no, no.
well, here we see the aggression, as I mentioned, that we could expect from Charles. I would bet he's going to do a focus evade, or I'm sorry, barrel roll evade here to get on the other side of that cloud.
Why would he evade?
Uh,
Nothing's going to get there in time.
You don't know that. You don't know what Avenger's doing. Yeah, he probably
Does
doesn't need to,
Avengers
and
have a
he
fire thing?
didn't.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Also, the other thing is, I actually think the ion torpedoes are more likely to see play than the mag pulse missiles out of Avenger.
Really?
Yeah, I think the ion torpedoes with their 4 dice sets up a kill shot on a ship like Soontir, whereas Avenger at initiative 3 is not going to get much use out of the deplete and jam token on Avenger unless he's shooting at the Synars.
Hmm.
And so if he's shooting at the Sinar, it'll probably be the. Why did you put that aggressor right in front of the?
Well, my guess is he did that because of where he's got Psy going.
Okay,
I don't think that's a barrel roll you do unless you know that you're going to screw up Psy's move.
fair. Is that the one that doesn't have a shield? Yeah, that's the one that doesn't have a shield. Um,
Hmm.
okay. Um, anyway, as I was saying, the mag pulse is going to be effective against the aggressors, but not Psy or Soontir. Whereas the ion torpedo, put 2 of them into Psy and you have Psy ioned, or put one of them into Soontir and there's a very strong chance you're going to get Soontir. You're going to get Soontir nice and toasty, and set up for a kill shot from Von Reg. So that's my assessment of that, and why actually when I was mock building lists, I put I actually would dropped the mag pulse and kept the agile gunner for some reason.
Hmm. So there, Charles is barrel rolling the opposite direction that you expected. Did I
Yeah,
mention that Charles is aggressive?
I think he's gonna try to joust. Well, here's the thing though: is if he two banks, he'll
Yeah.
have triple tokens because
Yeah.
he just takes an evade.
Yeah. And there's what I expected from Brandon there. There's the five forward to now come around behind those aggressors. I'm really interested to see, yeah, what does Soontir do, and then did Brandon expect this with Von Reg, and Von Reg just does something like a two bank of his own?
It'll be interesting. I'm not.
Because you're right. I mean, the evade and another focus, and probably this bullseye, yeah, bullseye on that ZSP. You know, the right roll could do real bad things to that Zeta squadron pretty fast.
The right roll could do bad things to that Soontir pretty
Yeah,
fast.
that's true. I mean, I'm not saying this is what I would do. I would have probably bailed through the other gas cloud, but did I mention that Charles is aggressive?
Yeah, so there's the evade. Good.
I
No,
feel
don't breathe.
like I feel like Mark Antony. Uh, Charles is an aggressive man. Brutus is an honorable man. I know that's going to go over the head of literally everyone listening, but I'm a history teacher, so screw you all. So I would imagine we're going to see a
Wait,
barrel
isn't
roll.
that from isn't that from Shakespeare
Yeah,
though?
yes.
So wouldn't that be from an English teacher?
No, it's a history. It's
No.
Actually
But you don't.
technically it's a tragedy, but I don't care. He based
But you don't.
he
You don't
he used
teach
Plutarch.
Shakespeare in history class.
What's that?
You don't teach Shakespeare in a
Yeah, I
history
sure as
class.
hell do. Shakespeare has had a profound impact on history and how history is absorbed culturally.
Okay.
Don't get me started. That's not what this stream is about.
Make your students watch this stream later.
That's right. So did
So
Von Rig?
Avenger went 5 straight and boosted, by the
Yeah.
way. Bonreg is
Yeah.
taking a deplete to take a lock.
Yeah. And do you barrel? No, I guess you don't have the barrel roll option now, right?
No. Well, you can barrel roll as your action, but I think you want a token instead.
Yeah. So he took the deplete. He's going to be throwing one for your dice. That one hard maybe shows that Brandon wasn't expecting quite as aggressive a move.
Q, we're going in. We're going in full throttle. That ought to keep those ties off of our backs for a while.
Yeah. And of course, Suntir gets to fire first here, getting his backup focus.
There's an emergency. Oh god, I don't want to die.
Yeah, basically. I mean, Von Reg is depleted, so he's only throwing two dice. I don't think Suntir is going to necessarily take any damage here, but you don't want to be willy-nilly spending one of these focuses either if you can avoid it. Yeah, that's not a great roll for Charles's attack, and just good enough.
So I'm gonna be completely candid here.
No.
I don't think I've ever put Von Reg on the table and have only theory crafted with the Thai BA. Having watched this single engagement, I
Oof,
like
nattied
Hollow
out of
better.
that. Say that again?
Having watched this single engagement, I like Hollow better.
Oh yeah, Hollow's a vastly superior Baron.
Cause, oh my, yeah.
Yeah, no question about it. It's not
Because I
even
just kind of assumed that Von Reg's always going to be taking the strain because he's going to be always out of arc, but you know, it's not exactly the case.
yeah. All right. So that should be easy enough for Suntir to laugh off. He could even spend that evade token as an FU if he wanted to.
Spends them all. It's actually illegal. He can't.
Yeah. No, I think they're just in cleanup because nobody else has a shot. All right, so that takes us to round three. There's quick engagement between those I6s. Um, so if you're Brandon, you're a little bit spread out here. And if you're Charles, you've got an aggressor going over a gas cloud because you're Dingus. So, Rick, what do you do here if you're each player? What's your ideal moves?
Starting with Charles because he's first player. The aggressors. Well, if you're playing aggressive, you might as well be aggressive with your aggressors. So 3 bank left. And just challenge him. And then Sai can 1 or 2 bank in to follow where Suntir's going, and then coordinate a focus to the strained or to the gas clouded aggressor. Let's hope
Yeah.
it's not strained. Um, and then gets a focus for herself, and then or you focus Suntir, and then Suntir just does a 3K.
Yeah, I actually, with Charles's list, I really like where Sai is because Sai
Yeah,
is in good position to not just do two bank this turn, but to just get in between those clouds and wreak havoc.
yep,
I'm even okay with the outside aggressor spot, and in fact, given where Avenger is right now, happily just go fast and bank with that one,
yeah,
and don't even care about Avenger. I think because if Avenger does like a 2 or 3 hard, you still pretty much got that gas cloud between you and it. Um, I don't like the, obviously neither of us likes the positioning of the the gas clouded aggressor. Um, Soontir, obviously, I think the biggest issue here is you can't. You said do a three sloop. Is that what you said?
Yeah, you could focus him and then do a 3 sloop and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd be a little worried that Von Rig would be able to do bad things. And of course, the Zeta Squadron does have a rear turret. Um,
Zeta Squadron's too far away. It's over. It's on the far right.
well, if you do a three sloop and the Zeta Squadron can just do a one forward
Oh
and
no,
still get that back
you're
shot.
other way. Sloop the other way.
Oh, well, I'd be worried I'd hit Von Rig with that, but it probably fits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, if
Either that or you
it,
just one bank
I
or
mean,
one
If
hard.
Brandon calls that, he probably could one hard the Zeta and block it
Yeah.
with a barrel roll, but you've got Lieutenant Sai barreling down there as well, and so do you actually with Sai? Do you think about maybe coordinating a reinforce on the guy who's about to go over that cloud or will have gone over that cloud?
Oh, because you get reinforced.
Yes, it's
Ooh.
it's it's got angled deflectors.
That depends on where the Zetas are.
Yeah.
If the Zetas are pointing at Psi, yes. Or if the Zetas are pointing at both of them, yes. If the Zetas are pointing at just one or the other, I probably coordinate the focus to. I don't know.
I mean, that's the thing with Sai is you have a lot of options as long as you share actions on your action bar, and that's actually the really interesting thing about. Ooh,
Well, apparently
so
he didn't like being there.
yeah, so I suspect that we're going to see a coordinated turret move then. So we'll see.
I think that was an overreaction. I don't think he needed to.
Hmm,
Okay, what are we doing?
interesting. Well, I mean, it suggests that he thinks Brandon is going to go real fast with his Zeta that direction, or Von Rig is going to commit that way, which I don't think Von Rig is going to, but I suppose we'll see. So I will say, so Charles is one of my locals, and he and I end up playing a bit. One of the most difficult things in playing Charles is that I never can be quite sure what the hell he's going to pull with his ships, and we're seeing that a little bit here. Um, and that could be, with the right list, that could be very good. I'm not sure this list is built to emphasize the crazy, but who am I to judge?
Okay. So linked boots? Linked barrel roll?
Ah, man, I don't see where a barrel roll would. Oof, boy. Is he going to K turn over that gas cloud? Charles, what you doing? Maybe a too hard towards Avenger?
Maybe a too hard to the right.
Maybe. Or maybe a two bank to the right to try to block Von Reg. That would not be terrible. And yeah, there's Avenger, not committing too hard to the turn in, kind of ending up
Yeah.
pretty far behind. All right, now we see what Suntir is doing. A one hard. Hmm. Okie dokie. I mean, the not terrible thing about that is, Suntir's probably only taking one shot this turn. And most of the angles would suggest that it's going to be gas clouded if he does.
And he's double focused. However, Von Reg does a one hard left, one daredevil boost right. And Okay.
Oh, so Brandon expected the 3 sloop. That's
Interesting.
interesting.
Well, since you have 2 ships in your bullseye, do you get 2 focus tokens?
No.
Oh, he has pattern analyzer. So you focus here, right? Yeah. Or do you evade? No, you focus. You have a gas cloud. What are you doing, Brandon? There you go. Now, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, Von Reg's out of this fight for like a little while because he has to go recover." Nah, he has a blue one hard. He's just like, "Whoop, I'm back in it,
Yeah.
boys."
Though I'm a little worried that that one hard to the right ends up on the tail of that gas cloud, the fat sperm cloud. Come on, that's what it looks like.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was like, I wish I could say you're wrong, but you're not. All right, give me an arc check. Roll them dice. Range 2 obstructed. We got 3v4 with some mods all around.
I mean, even if Von Rig blanks out, he still gets to change one thing, so he's fine.
Good start. And nice.
Oh, Jesus. Well, as we say here on the Militant Casuals channel,
I'll
just
let you post it.
roll natties. That's the secret to winning X-Wing, everybody. If you can get good at rolling natties, you can win anything.
I played a game against Brian Hansen last night, and the first shot of the game was 4 hits that were, well, 3 hits, and then I re-rolled one and got a fourth. And the defender rolled 4 evades. It's actually 2 focuses and 2 evades. But point is,
Oof.
I'm way too
Charles's attack dice have not been helping him out here at all.
no.
Now I'm not sure. Oh, Psy. Okay, Psy probably on the ZSP.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's got to be it. Oh, guys, come on, use the right control. Control Shift F.
he did. No ships in range. It showed up in the
Okay.
chat log.
All right, good. He
He's
just
just
couldn't
highlighting which
believe
ship
it.
is shooting. Correct. He's just highlighting which ship is shooting.
Well, that is pretty fortunate for those weirdly positioned aggressors who are now, going to have to find a way to work their way around the shuttle.
I'm
Did
calling
uh,
for
did
it.
Charles ever roll for that gas cloud?
Nope. Maybe. Spectators, did he roll for the gas cloud? Let
Oh,
me scroll
ouch.
up.
That's not good. And I'd imagine he chose the one that has no focus. Yep. So we have a wounded pilot on that one. And if
Should
it
be double crit.
if it had not had angled deflectors, it would not have taken a crit there. Womp
Should,
womp.
should be 2 crits.
No, he had a shield. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, it has zero. Right. It only has one. So wounded pilot and direct hit. That's brutal.
Rip. Maybe it. Maybe the wounded one 3 hearts left and the other one 4Ks.
I think, as Drew is saying in chat, I think Sai did not make use of the title, the ST321 title.
I don't think it has it, does it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yes, it does.
does. It absolutely
Oh,
does.
that's on you. That's 100% on you, Charles. That's not on any of us. You got to do that, buddy. You got to do that. It gives you double modded offense every round.
Well, at Charles's defense, like I don't think I've ever seen him run an Imperialist, so it might
Yeah,
take him a game or two to get up to speed. And we threw him to the wolves. He's having to play Brandon, who, while he might be a little bit drunk on Pinot, is still the best militant casual.
it makes me sad that I can't argue with that.
I mean, you can. I'm not going to
I
stop you
think
from arguing with it.
I think it's close. I think
You're
it's
right.
close.
You're
I
right.
think
You're right. Tommy's pretty close.
store champ Tommy Nguyen.
That's right.
Um, I I think Brandon is incredibly technically skilled and is probably more capable with um, any list, but I think that there are other people in the militant casuals who um, who are better than him with tailored lists for them, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah. I think if you put, I think in a jank tank format or like a blind format where it's like, here's a list, play it. I think he's going to outperform a lot of like basically anybody, dice being equal.
Well, here's what I would say. I think if Daniel Lim were a full-time MC, he would give Brandon a run for his money. Um, Rick, you're very, very good with a very, very specific set of ace lists. So if you're arguing for yourself, I understand. Uh, but I honestly put those two guys just from sheer performance, from repeatable, you know, results uh, with a variety of things as kind of our top two. That's not any insult to you at all. I promise. You're very good at X-wing.
You
You won
might
the
not be
first jank
intended
tank.
as one, but I take it. But I
What's that?
take it as an said you might not intend it as one, but I am taking it as one.
You are very good at X-wing. I'm not. Look, I'm not even in the top five. So
um yeah, give me aces and I'm gonna have a chance. Like yes. But I will openly say that like I don't think um like give me a if you but like give me a howl swarm and I'm gonna just kind of like flop my way through it and try to figure it out. Oh, it's neat.
yeah, I was
Not
thinking
with
that
fail maybe.
Charles's only choice here was going to be to go aggressively with the two ion aggressors here. But of course, where that leaves him is there's not really a safe place, yeah, for Sai to go. So no coordinate shenanigans this time.
I'm
Next
actually
turn
surprised
he'll be.
Sai didn't go straight into the bump.
What's that?
I'm surprised Sai didn't go straight into the bump.
I mean, there's no reason not to, but maybe he wants. I don't know that this necessarily improves his angle on a bank next turn or not, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. If he'd gone straight, he might have arc dodged the Zeta.
Yeah, but I mean, who cares? It's I don't think it's range one, and it's two dice, so be it.
Yeah.
More
Unmodded.
more frightening here is honestly Avenger coming in from the side because as you mentioned earlier, here he gets the target lock, and if he gets a good, ion torp off here, then Sai's really not going anywhere, and Sai is definitely not coordinating.
But it looks like he's locking Soontir. Now the question is, did Soontir just two left? And oh,
Yeah.
Avenger's taking care of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what I mean. I don't, given where the Zeta TISF is, and now where Avenger is, this is why I was advocating for Soontir to have done the two left turn last turn. Is now, woof, this is
Yeah.
not where you want to be. Um, yes, you're going to get the focus if you just stay here, and you
So
can
do
take
you
an evade.
evade boost, or do you just take the evade?
I don't, in this spot, I don't think the boost gets you very much, except into range one of the butt shot. It probably is range one here, but you're at least close enough to the edge there that I think you just, you know, what did he do? He took a
He
focus
focused.
rather than evade.
I guess
Hmm.
it can mod more dice.
Yeah. I mean, you are taking not a single modded target lock shot from Avenger. I think, whatever. If you are not at range one of the Zeta, then you just laugh at two dice. But I think you'd be in a better spot here with a focus evade than with focus focus, just because dice are what they are. Now there's a pretty aggressive 4 forward towards the board edge here. I guess he didn't want to have too many arcs on him at
Yeah.
you know close range, so I get it. But you could have also probably just done like a one hard away boost and been in a maybe better position.
So our damaged aggressor is gonna live another turn.
Probably, I agree.
Oh, JK. Maybe. We'll find out.
Oh, Daredevil, love it. Well, I mean, yeah, he's gonna live. He's got a focus and he's got the gas cloud. And is that a strain?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's what? It'll be 3 versus 4 at range 3. So that's fine. It's fine.
We're all fine here.
I mean, Vinder does have. I mean, not Vinder. Von Reg. They both start with V. They both have major in their name. Come on. Von Reg does have a target lock, but again, it's a single mod. I don't think you worry too much about that with the gas cloud in the way. So yeah, there's Daredevil playing a role. Like I said, and the good thing to this now is Von Reg can make use of that again if he really wants to. I mean, he could go 5 forward Daredevil and get in behind Charles's list and be happy. So here's Soontir. It is range 2. So I think Soontir is pretty happy with that result. And Charles's dice are average again. Now, do you spend the focus here?
Nope.
No, me neither. But Charles did because Charles is aggressive. Charles is an aggressive player. Brutus is an honorable man.
I guess he's assuming two dice out of the Zeta with a focus. He should be able to dodge
Well, as we all know, with
naturally.
two die attacks, it's going to be hit hit.
No,
So
it's gonna be crit crit. Come on, man.
yeah.
Oh,
So here's Major Vinder. Looks like,
Von Reg.
or God damn it, stupid V names.
It's okay. You can run a list that's Vessery, Vermeil, and Vinder all in one list.
Oh, well, that's the kind of reroll you want to get out of that. And that's going to be okay because he'll spend the focus and the gas cloud if he remembers and live.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm on.
Come on, Charles. Yep,
There
he's
you
got it.
go.
He's got it.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, he's probably looking up how to change it. For those of you watching at home, Shift E changes any result to an evade.
All right. So
We
now
got
we've got
Sai.
Sai's shot. And I think you just go with the Zeta Squadron here just to get that blocker out of the way.
Yeah, you shoot the Zeta first.
Focus fire. Get it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I do not have the points tracker going tonight, so let's see. What do we got here? Brandon is up. Let's see. It's so sad. That extra 3 points to lose a shield is so sad. Brandon is up 22 to 0. And there's another average roll. But it's good
Got the shield,
enough
though.
to take a shield.
Yep.
Because that Zeta Squadron was Sir blocked.
You
All right.
shoot with the damaged Zeta. You shoot with the damaged Sinar first, correct?
Well, Avenger's up first. So
Oh, right. Yeah,
Avenger,
that doesn't.
you fire the Ion at Soontir here, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you're single
No,
modded.
you aren't really in a position to follow up on that. I actually might shoot.
Well,
This is the case where I might shoot the mag pulse because the jam
nope.
will
Ion
take the
Torp.
focus off.
You're
Okay.
totally in position to follow this up because the Zeta just goes one forward.
True.
So we'll see how the rerolls go because, as Vince would tell you, Vassal hates rerolls, but not Brandon's rerolls. That's gonna be an Ion Soontir. It's gotta be. Oh my God! I lied, everybody. It's just a damaged Soontir with no focus token because he used his other one on offense. All right. So Soontir's not at half points yet, but
Well, I stand corrected. The mag pulse would have been a mistake. Yeah, you double tap with the damaged one at the Zeta first. Because if you can kill it, you have unobstructed shots drained at Vonreg with the other one.
yeah. So there's the primary, and just what do we do, kids, to win at X-Wing?
Just roll natties.
Just roll natties. So Brandon has borrowed Daniel's dice for this game.
Oh,
Yeah.
only
Womp,
you had enough
womp.
to spend the focus.
Oh, but it's good enough to push a damage through. The Zeta's now at half points. So
13 to 22?
Yep, 22 to 13. And of course, he does have the focus here, and I think you spend that on the primary attack. Yeah, I think that's the right call. Because you could a blank out here and you kill the Zeta. Nope, nope, but that's Brandon's dice borrowed from Daniel, virtually speaking. Not a terrible follow-up roll on the Ion, and that's good enough to do one more damage and ionize the Zeta, so everybody knows where that Zeta is going next turn. Should I reduce Soontir's hull?
Yeah.
All right. Done. Okay, so we are on to...
Oh, Charles did it.
Oh, God. Charles.
I got it.
That's okay. No, he's going to do it. Well, no, he's not.
Fine, you do
Oh,
it.
yeah, we forgot the Zeta's shot. I'll do it. Let's not both do it.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Did the primary from the Sinar miss?
Yes, it was a double evade,
Okay.
but the Ion hit.
Cool.
Oh, and here's the butt shot we've all been waiting for. Range 2, potentially...
Poop, poop.
I
Poop, poop, correct.
mean, you have to go at Soontir here, right? I mean, you might be tempted to try to take the the angled deflector's asshole off the board, but
I mean, getting a gun off a double gun off the table isn't a bad choice, but you're correct. You shoot Soontir.
Oh,
Here we go.
heroic! Womp womp. All right, so now we're on to round 4. I kind of jumped the gun earlier because I forgot. Hey, you do get to fire back if you're the Zeta and the other Zeta. Okay, so let's talk about what Brandon has to do here because yeah, he's up 22 to 13, but I don't like his positioning relative to Charles's here. So what would you do, Rick?
Oh, well, I'd do a one straight with the Zeta Squadron pilot. Um,
I don't think you have a choice there, but thanks for that analysis. You're doing great.
um, so Charles, I don't know, man. Like, you got to do something with Sir Angle Deflectors. Um, which very easily could be, do you three bank down and just go for the block, and if you miss, you just consign yourself to death? I don't necessarily love the position Charles is in either. I mean, maybe the 4K from the unstressed Sinar. Soontir, Soontir 3 sloop to the right. I don't love any of this. I think Von Reg does either a one bank right or a one hard right. I think Avenger just does a two straight or a two bank.
I'll tell you
Yeah,
what I
two
do.
straight.
I'll tell you what I do with the Sinars.
Okay.
I two hard both of them towards
Okay.
Avenger because you get to move. Also, you get to move before the Zeta. Well, maybe not the two hard with the one who's damaged. I think the two hard with the one on the inside gets in front of the Zeta and basically blocks it. And probably with the one who's damaged, that one I could conceivably K-turn. Um, and
It's stress.
then okay, so you can't conceivably K-turn. Good point.
Two
Um,
bank down.
um, I don't know. I don't care. It's 1 point left. It's more what I want to do with Lieutenant Sai, right? So if my goal here is to make sure Sai can do something cheeky with Suntir, I just get it the fuck out of the way. Let's see what is their fastest blue straight.
Three.
Three straight. Get it out of the way. Shift the ion cannon back and just use it to keep Von Reg honest, basically. And then Sai then can do a one forward, coordinate Soontir. Soontir can get a focus. Soontir can do a K turn. All is right with the world, except if the Zeta does a one forward, which I don't know that it will, because if I'm
Honestly, I
Brandon,
might one forward with that Zeta. Um, just to create a bumper buffer for Psy so that Psy can get the kill shot on the TIE fighter.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't. It depends on what Charles really wants to do with Soontir, right? Soontir could three sloop to the left, with a coordinated focus, which might be the best possible move because I don't think the SF is going to see it coming or be able to stop it. Okay, well, there's Charles. Charles chooses violence, stays appropriately stressed, and is going whole hog on Von Reg. Now, if Von Reg does a one hard here, I think at least one of those aggressors is going to have a fun time.
Vonreg does a one hard here. He then just strains to barrel roll away, and then
And then boost.
Daredevils in to flank and just goes, "What's up?"
I don't think he could. I don't think the barrel roll gets you enough space to do the Daredevil, but we'll see. Plus, if Sai is one forwarding, then I don't think you want to necessarily be there staring down, that gun. But we'll see. We'll see.
Roll the cloud, both of you. Oh my god, did that not overlap?
Doesn't look like it did. Now there's a two forward from the Zeta Squadron Survivor, which I actually like if you expect Soontir to 4K. Yeah, it looks like if Sai does do a one forward, he's bumping that Zeta one way or the other though, so you cannot count on that coordinate. And did I mention that Charles is aggressive?
You did, actually. It's come up a couple times.
So it looks like he's going all in on a Von Reg kill if he can. But yeah, it looks like the Zeta did not hit the cloud. I do not see an overlap there. which is kind of crazy. We could zoom in, we could enhance, but I don't see the point since the yeah.
Uh, you don't see the point, but I do, since I'm not the stream one. Oh my
This is great radio,
god.
by the way. You zooming in when I don't. Okay, so
Oh my.
Avenger, interestingly, uh, moves in and takes a target lock, and if Suntir did sloop left, that he's in great position on Avenger. Not so great position to survive uh, the butt shot though, and I think here you just boost to get away from the butt shot off that Zeta. Well, you're still going to take the other shot from the Zeta. Hmm. Let's see what Charles does.
All right. Zoomed in picture is posted in Discord if you want to go pull it up.
Why did you go that way, Charles? I like range one shots from focused Zeta Squadron pilots. I mean, I guess there's a chance Sai could kill it,
Yeah.
but it's not a good chance. And Von Rigg's like, no, thank you.
On a scale of 1 to no.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously here you just Daredevil to the right and take no shots.
And have a shot.
Yeah, did I mention that Daredevil's really fucking good?
He still hasn't rolled the goddamn gas cloud for the Sinar, despite me asking twice. But that's fine.
It's Charles. It's fine.
Oh, he's going to take a target lock before he does.
Yeah, he's
Because
gonna take a target lock on Lieutenant Sai.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause he can.
obviously.
Maybe he can initiative kill Sai before she kills him.
Yes, that's very likely to happen in one turn where Sai is completely undamaged.
What was the action Soontir took?
He barrel rolled to the left and then left it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think he's got angle on that Zeta first shot, but we'll see.
No, he doesn't. But to be fair, I don't think that Zeta has angle on him either.
Yeah, it might not. So that looked like that must have been testing Soontir. Soontir has no ships in range. Von Rigg's got a range one shot now with a target lock on Sai. So you're praying for, oof. I mean, that's not terrible without a focus token. So I think you're happy to walk away with only potentially 2 damage here if you're Sai.
Oh god, yeah, no, that's gorgeous.
And because of the deplete, no roll on defense, so
Or because of the strain, yeah.
or strain, yes. So I think Sai will end up being next up here. That's a great roll. That's not a good roll. And the Zeta will not have a shot on Avenger. Yep. All right, so that brings our score.
$22 to 26.
Yep. Charles takes the lead. This is sure to remain this way.
I mean, that SF is not going to damage Soontir.
Wow. Oh, way to jinx it. It's going to be critted to quadruple blanks now, you dick.
It's no, it's he has elusive. It's fine.
Now the question is, and this is a good question Sean asks, will Brandon remember Avenger?
Oh.
And you've already got the target lock on Soontir, so I'm not sure. I mean, do you just boost?
Yes, he is barrel rolling
Yep.
Avenger.
Yeah, I like that positioning because it's certain that he's expecting Soontir to do like a right one hard next turn. And this is a much better place to be if you're Avenger for that. Oh, wow. Yeah, and that's a pretty good place to be. I don't know. I guess if I'm uh, Charles, I start to think pretty hard about Soontir going after Von Reg from here
Yeah,
forward.
though doing so makes you go over a gas cloud.
Yeah, it's not great, Bob, but you know. And there's the single hit. Here's quadruple blanks. Nope. Charles laughs at a single hit, and we are back to dials.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right,
Soon
turn
tier
six
12.
begins. At the end of this turn, we will be halfway through the game. We have a
Bum,
scintillating barn burner of a matchup here with the score
soon tier
26 to 22.
12.
Charles in the lead.
Bum, 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 bum. Soon tier 12.
Stop it.
Oh, good times, good times.
Yeah. All right, so Rick, uh, I don't think either of us really likes where the aggressors are here, or where Sai is, since Sai is going to go over that gas cloud again. What do you do here I mean, obviously the Zeta Squadron SF is way the hell out of this fight for a while. So, if you're Charles, the opportunity here is to either concentrate fire on Von Reg or Avenger somehow. So, how do you do that if you're Charles? Hold on. Sorry. How do we do that if you're you? Because Charles is going to do something batshit crazy that will be fine, but we will never predict. So go.
I probably do some sort of blue maneuver with the damaged one to get the stress, or I just too hard again because YOLO. The undamaged one absolutely two hards, and then Psy one banks to the left, and then you kind of lets Vonreg fall in behind her because she has a rear arc and can just be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Um, and then you can either complete the kill box, the quote unquote kill box, by um, three harding Soontir to the left, or you one hard Soontir to the right and decide you want to play games with Avenger, which I think is a mistake. But then again, I also think three harding to the left is a mistake. So I also think Soontir is a mistake. So we're all good here. We're fine.
Um, I mean, there's no way that. I mean, I think if Sai were not sitting on a gas cloud, you could think about some kind of like coordinate barrel roll to Soontir that would put him in a better place. But I kind of feel like Soontir's best choice here is probably something like a three hard towards, well, towards Von Reg just to have a chance to, you know, block him and to get that gas cloud between you and Avenger. Um,
Honestly, a zero stop from Psy isn't the worst thing in the
I
world.
did, yeah, I like that idea. I'm not sure what Charles is
Is
doing here.
rewinding. Oh, I think he needs to move the target lock before he moves, or something.
Ah,
We're gonna find out.
yeah, that could be.
Watch and observe, my friends.
But as you guessed, it's a too hard, not clearing stress, basically YOLOing. Um, so Sean suggests in chat that Soontir one hard to the right. I hate that move just because Avenger's going to be in your face, and you don't know where Von Reg is going to be. It is a move you could make, but I really dislike it. I think you concentrate fire on Von Reg and you put pressure by having Soontir go over the gas cloud. There's no way Avenger's going to have arc and range on you with a move that clears its stress that doesn't have to fire through the gas cloud. And Von Reg is right now your win condition. So get
Why
him.
didn't you turn him around?
Well, let's all remember that. I mean, maybe he is thinking that Avenger will one hard to the right. I mean, it is Charles, so Charles could very well do that. So here we have a double overlap, but you only have to roll once. And hey, look at that. Sai doesn't care. I kind of agree with you, Rick. I think the right play there for Sai was essentially a hard stop to keep that butt arc on Von Reg, but
Well, I was
um,
thinking if you could probably have caused the bump on Von Reg, which then would have set up the back double modded
yeah,
Sinar to punish Von Reg with an ion.
yeah. So barrel roll first, boost left, I'd imagine. Oh no, he focused
Double.
barrel rolled. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so event if Soontir one hards to the right, you're in real fucking bad shape.
Yeah. Also, is that Drew Bishop?
No, Drew Brody.
Oh, Drew Brody. What up, Drew Brody? Okay, there's the one hard, so you have to focus
Oh
barrel roll. Oh, unless you focus boost? No, the boost
no,
won't
you
get
don't
you
want to
there.
boost. No, no, no. Now, so if Brandon called all of this, then if Von Reg does like a two bank to the right, Soontir is a dead Soonti.
Bum, 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 bum. Rest in peace. Moment of truth. What do we got? Okay. Yeah, just a barrel roll,
Oh
target
yeah,
lock.
barrel roll target. Yeah, target lock, barrel roll. Do it. Do it.
That's the real weaknesses of Charles's list is
Well, here's what I'm saying though: three hard and hard stop from Psy, and Von Reg just is there with with no mods,
yeah.
taking a shot. It's yeah,
But I mean the weakness of Charles's list is once Soontir goes down, your
right.
offense you don't have an offense. You have a
Yeah,
wet noodle for a beat stick.
yeah, yeah. Now to Charles's, and again he took the focus. I think he's gonna maybe get the bullseye off of. Oh nope, he missed it. Okay, I thought he might get the bullseye off of the Zeta Squadron, but he does not. So he's gonna take three shots and has one defensive mod. Wait,
So you're saying there's a chance.
why did he take a second focus? That was not in barrel roll or uh, bullseye, right?
Control click. Um, nope. Thank you. Taking that away now.
Now the good thing for Charles here, though, is you know Avenger's going to take some damage.
Charles can either spend or Brandon can either spend the focus or he can take a crit and give up half points. And he spent the focus.
Yeah, that is a very Brandon move. Yeah, I don't think he has bullseye on that guy, folks.
I toggled the check bullseye and it said no ships
Yeah,
in range.
yeah, I didn't think so.
So I took his focus away. Oh, well, he has a target lock.
Which and yeah, average reroll. So
Vassal
hashtag
hates
Vassal
people.
hates rerolls. Now, unfortunately,
Elusive, elusive, elusive. There we
oh,
go.
elusive works, everybody.
90% of the time, it works 100% of the
Yeah, I
time.
mean he's still going to be taking a 4 die attack from Avenger and a butt shot from the Zeta. So if he walks out of this healthy, it'll be a miracle.
Oh, I think Avenger kills him.
No, I don't think. Well, I don't think Avenger. I mean, he could. I mean, it's no
Oh, no
mods.
ships
So
in range. Oh, that must be Psy.
yeah, I think that was Psy.
Yeah. I was like, wait, did Soontir dodge Avenger's Arc?
Best possible
Okay.
roll though.
Oh my god.
Blank, focus. Oh, that's half points on Soontir because nobody's dice are good. Oh man. All right, so let's see. That puts Brandon up to. Let's see. Soontir's 56. So how does one math? 20. No, 28. Yeah, 28.
Yep.
So 50 points. So now the Zeta Squadron could very well kill Avenger. I mean, kill Soontir. That's probably Psy. That's my guess. So one of the things I think that is if we could rewind this game to the beginning, that I think maybe has hurt Charles is that he's got his ion cannons facing forward.
I think it's the correct play to start. I think the mistake he made was when he banked back towards his side of the board edge. I
Well,
think he should have gone straight. He's been out of position ever since then. Oh, yikes.
yikes! Oh, and
Oh,
that's a dead
rip.
Sunti. All right, so that brings us up to full 56 plus 22. So we are now at 78 to
88.
26.
78. You're right. I'm wrong.
I mean, that's what happens when you one hard into a kill box rather than
Run away.
think.
Like,
Well, no, you didn't even have to run away. Like it was clear Von Reg was going to
also,
be in that general area, and Avenger would have to fire through a gas cloud. So I think you put the pressure on Von Reg. That's your win condition is kill Von Reg. Avenger, who gives a fuck? Zeta Squadron, nope, don't care. Uh,
also, hang on. I'm gonna add if Psy had zero stopped, Psy would have blocked the barrel roll.
sure, that too, but you know, if whether that saves Soontir or not is obviously academic.
Yeah.
And what's funny about that, here's the hit crit we sort of predicted last turn from that butt shot. It just showed up a turn late. So let's see. So Rick, let's talk about how Charles might pull this out. The good thing for Charles a little bit is can still put pressure on Von Reg, Avenger, and that Zeta Squadron is not appearing in this game for at least another turn. So obviously, Sai can't do a hard turn because he's
Right.
stressed. But the two, aggressors can now start to put their ion cannons back on Brennan's list, and they're not nothing to sneeze at. They can do their share of damage. Um, so I
If
feel
Von
like
Reg had taken damage, the aggressors could hold their own and match Brandon. But at this point, I don't see I don't see them getting out of this.
I mean, if Sai wasn't stressed, then you do like a two hard in and two
Yeah.
hards or three hards from the aggressors, and you've got a chance at some shots. It is the seventh round. Ultimately, mathematically, it's not like Charles has given up a ton of points. I mean, it's 78. That's achievable. Um,
Yeah.
you get Avenger off the board, and that is pretty much evens things up. But you've got to get arcs on them. And if I'm Brandon here, here forward, like you don't need to play aggressive. So just, I think Avenger could very well just fly away this turn and come back with the Zeta Squadron together in 2 turns from now. And
Yep.
of course, you know that Psy's probably one banking into another gas cloud, so good times, right? So you could turn Von Reg, essentially do the one hard on Von Reg now, and get an unopposed shot on Sai. So, Sai might want to think about instead of a one bank in, maybe a one bank out just to keep a butt arc. But that would not be Charles. So Charles, one banks to the left because aggressive. Did I mention? Have I mentioned, fellows, that Charles is aggressive?
Here's the catch, though. Sai gets an action.
Yeah, he did manage to somehow fit in between the two gas clouds, which I was not expecting.
It was
So,
that bump earlier when he bank bumped is set that up.
yeah, he was playing four-dimensional chess for sure, for sure. I mean, that was Trumpian in its brilliance. So, um,
Shots fired.
I mean,
You're not wrong, but shots fired.
four-dimensional chess, man. Anyway, now the thing here is that what Avenger does have to worry a little bit about is plink damage, where he is. You're trading
Yeah.
shot with a double tapping aggressor, which I don't think is a place that an Avenger is super happy with. Um,
No, because if Avenger gets ionized here, good night.
right, exactly. And honestly, both probably have ion shots on him where he is. So do you think about a barrel roll to the left?
Yes.
Obviously, depending on what Von Reg did.
Yeah.
Damn 5G towers, am I right, Sean? All right, so Avenger is target locking, which is interesting. Oh, he's going to try to
Uh,
PS kill the.
Sir damaged a lot.
Yeah. All right, so.
Now do you barrel roll to the other side of the gas cloud? Okay.
Oof.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, that's.
Avenger is safe this turn. Avenger is safe this turn. I guarantee it.
Yeah, that's I wonder if what Brandon always intended to do was a barrel roll away, but then he got a little greedy here, thinking he might be able to take the damaged aggressor off the board. Um,
Yeah. Or maybe he was thinking he would boost down.
I mean, I think Von Reg. Oh wow, no shot for Von Reg. It looks like.
Oh.
Well, it's okay because it's not like Sai is firing back either. But the thing about it now is Sai can be in any number of really unfortunate places for Von Reg next turn.
Well, if Vonreg gets ionized, Sai just zero stop.
I don't think he has arc on a zero stop. I think you maybe one bank. Nah, I don't know. Because you
You
could deny Von
bank
Reg a
left.
token, knowing where he's going to be, and just let the aggressors do bad things.
True. Ion torpedo through the gas cloud?
Question mark? Yeah, that would be my guess. Because he only has to do the one damage, so that makes total sense,
Yeah.
right? So the natty roll here has to be pretty good, and it's not. So that's a smart call by Brandon. Thinking about, oh yeah, I can get 4 dice, and he's got no tokens, so single mod says peace out.
Yep.
So that is an additional 22 points. So that puts Brandon to 96. No, 100. 44 plus 56, 100 points. Angle deflectors coming up huge in this. No, not really. Now, what would be hilarious here is, as you say, if Von Ray gets ioned. It's a good first shot. That's gonna
Great first shot.
do a damage. So Von Rig is
You have a
down.
target lock focused ion cannon shot. Let's do this.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Absolutely spend the target lock here.
Spend the focus.
And absolutely spend the focus. So unless Brandon Natty's
Oh,
out,
you got at least half point. You got half
yep,
points
half
and an
points and an
ion.
ion. All right, so that brings Charles to 58. Charles is now at 58. And I
Well, the
think
CNR, two banks. I still zero stop with Psy.
I'm not sure you'll have a shot.
I think you have the corner.
Yeah, maybe. I think you could also
Either that
go.
or you too hard.
I mean, I'm thinking. I mean, you could one hard.
Not with the Psy.
I thought they had a red one hard on those guys.
Nope.
Oh, never mind. You can two hard.
Hold on. No, the Lambda shuttle is the worst thing in the game
I mean,
by
the other
far.
thing you could do is you could go fast towards the Zeta, planning to like use your butt shot on Von Rake, but
Yeah,
and
you
so
could go 3 straight and see what happens.
yeah. I honestly I think that's probably the better move for the long term.
I also don't hate the 3 bank.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I think you hit the gas cloud one way or the other.
Yeah.
Um, the only the only thing that if you do get greedy and do the three forward is you will take two shots. If you do the two hard and you bump or you block Von Rake, you deny him the token, and I don't hate the positioning you would have with a two hard, for the next round.
Yeah, your exit and coordinate would be decent.
What's that?
Your exit and coordinate would be pretty decent.
Yeah, for the following turn. Yeah. So
I would have. Hopefully, this means that there's a 2 hard coming, because otherwise, I would 100% have done the 2 bank. You want to try to be range 1 for this shot.
well, you're double tapping, and you double tapped at range 2 last time and did 2 damage, so it's not the worst thing.
But that was on a tokenless Monreg.
I mean, if you two hearted, it's tokenless anyway.
I don't think so. I think you still missed the gas cloud. Oh, there's the zero stop for the Lambda. Now we get to find out if I was right about getting Arc. However, the 4K from Avenger. Yep.
Oof. Well, I think you're just okay with that. You take the 4 dice naked from Avenger and just, you know, you. I mean, Avenger does fire before the Zeta,
Avenger should
so
kill
if
you.
Von Reg dies on Zeta's shot, you're not. Yeah, there's no arc. I told you.
Angles, man.
I effing
That's
told
not.
you. There's
That's
there's no
not.
shot. There is no shot. That is no shot. Sai has no shot.
Oh, poop.
Fucking told you.
Whoa, kids friendly, bro.
No, it's not. I've said the F word like 14 times.
That wasn't even as
Hey, it
close
wasn't
as I
even
thought.
close. Get good.
No bad.
Get good.
Oop. Rip. Yeah, you're fine. You're still above half points.
With who?
The Signar.
Yeah, just barely. So yeah, that's definitely an argument for not splitting the baby and doing the hard stop. Even a 3 forward, I think, would have been a better choice than this. But the 2 hard was the right call. All right.
Yeah, we know.
Pray for blanks. Oof.
That's the perfect roll.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
he
you
still
spend
has.
the focus because it guarantees life,
Yeah,
but it also sets you up for the possible Ion again.
yeah.
There we go. Oh no!
Damage and ion. Good times were had by none.
Oh, yikes. It's gonna be really incredible when this comes down to Psy versus a TIE SF.
Well, I think Avengers still going to be around, but yeah, we'll see. All right, so now we're on to round 9. So for Charles, what do you do here?
I think I just won straight with the aggressor,
Yeah,
and then I won straight with Psy. I
do you think?
might one bank.
Yeah, I was wondering if you maybe won bank, but I think I would, I
I like
think
the one straight to keep my arc as wide as possible against the SF.
the thing I worry about with a one straight is that Von Rig may not hit you,
Yeah.
and you need Von Rig to not be firing into you if you want to bring this game out. So I think even though it may mean you won't have arc on the Zeta, I think you have to one bank here and deny Von Rig that token. I mean, that token is honestly what saved his life last turn. Charles hopefully has learned his lesson. Um, you're going to overlap that cloud one way or the other, so you're not going to have an action. You're
Yeah.
probably going to take a shot from Avenger if Avenger is smart. So, you know, yeah.
And focus.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean,
Focus.
the good thing for Charles here is Avenger doesn't really have a good place to go. I mean, maybe a 3 forward gets him in between and or past different ships. Now, I will say it does look like Von Rig will bump
Yeah.
here.
Well, that's also a two straight, so that's
Hmm.
not what I was looking at. But that puts them where I was imagining the one straight. So I'll take
so
I'll take the
YOLO,
moral victory.
as we say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You know, if Charles wanted to be super cheeky, he could double tap Avenger. Or primary Avenger and then use the Ion on Von Rig, which is probably the right call. Or you could go either way, really.
I would go the other way. I would shoot the primary at Von Reg and try to get the kill. And if I get the kill, then I would Ion Avenger.
I don't know. More dice plus the. I think I would do the primary against Avenger, knowing that a 4-die Ion with the focus is a kill shot on Von Rig. Well, actually, it may not be at range 1. Okay, so never mind, because Brandon was like, I do not want to give Charles this choice. Which, smart.
Correct.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
look at that. Barely bumps.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this does mean that Sai is going to take 2 shots regardless. So. Oh, no.
That was Sai shooting. That was Sai desperately wishing she had a focus
Wait.
token.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that's right.
That's the
Sai does.
data.
Yeah. Well, making the Zeta. I mean, the Zeta doesn't have to spend. If it
Zeta
spends.
took it.
If. Yeah. That's. Yeah.
Yeah, if he'd had a focus, that would have been
Yeah.
better.
And yeah, you just spend that to push damage through, for sure.
Yeah, Avenger pushes 3 damage onto Sai, and Sai gives up half points.
Yep. Gets rid of the deplete, though.
Yep,
Phew.
the strain before
Whatever.
the other. Then
F those things anyway. All right. And of course, I think the special forces will fire before. Or no, I guess they both fired, right?
so range 1 at Avenger? No, he hasn't rolled dice yet. Range 1 at Avenger, range 2 at Von Reg. I still think you shoot Von Reg first. Yep, you shoot Von Reg. Try to make sure you get the.
Yep,
There we
got
go.
it.
Now the ion cannon at Avenger.
All right. Well, that's a
Game changer? That's a game enhancer.
Well, what's
We're
funny
gonna
is
call
Von
it-
Rig is actually worth fewer points than Avenger. So I'm not sure if it's a
But
game changer per
Avenger-
se.
I don't know. Okay,
That's
that's
pretty
nice.
good.
That's probably an ion Avenger.
Oh, it's absolutely. I mean, yeah. All right. So damage in an ion that does put Avenger at half points.
Ion on Avenger, yeah.
Yep. So that is
Oh my god, the
another
little signer that can.
right. I mean, double tapping ion is no joke. As long as
They're
your dice
wild.
cooperate.
He has some maneuverable ions. Remember when TLT aggressors replaced
Well,
TLT?
so the Zeta can swing this though if the Zeta puts 1 more damage through on Psi. So let's see what happens. But of course, knowing where Avenger's going to be is not great That's not the worst roll in the world for Charles there, but it is half points on Psy. So
That's
that
fine.
is another
That is absolutely fine.
28 points for Brandon. All right, so
Einar and Psy go one straight.
that's 128 points for Brandon.
Oh, this is a great game. This is fantastic.
And then 98 plus 26 is 124. So a 4-point difference, but with Brandon with a 4-point lead, if I'm doing the math correct. Yeah, I
Let
mean,
me
I
just.
think what this really speaks to is I know you ranked Charles's list is somewhere around 10th,
Yeah.
but I think it's better than that.
Well, also the change I was making, and I was dropping the veteran turret gunner to get barrage rockets.
Which is where my brain was at too, but I think you and I
But
both would
then
agree.
Brandon actually mentioned the double tapping Wyons, and I was like, holy crap,
Yeah,
that's genius.
yeah, yep. Yeah, the barrage rockets are good, but double tap is even better. Okay, so if you are Brandon here, you only have one dial to set, and that's the Zeta. So, and it's going to move after the ioning asshole. So, I mean, you know if you're Charles that a one forward for the Cyanar is going to keep you with arc on Avenger. So really the question is, what do you do with Psy? And I think
One straight.
Psy. Say again.
One straight.
I don't think you end up with arc on Avenger with a one straight. Well, I
Then
guess
two
it
straight.
depends on what the Zeta does, right?
Then two straight. And then what you do is you honestly what I do is I one straight and target lock with the aggressor. And then with Psy, I one or two I one straight and then focus and then coordinate the focus and get the free target lock on Avenger and just shred Avenger.
Yeah, I just worry you don't end up with arc. I wonder if you need to one bank to have arc on Avenger.
If you bank, you two bank left.
Yeah,
So it's
but I don't think you have the
124.
coordinate ability at that point. I think maybe think about. Um, ooh, nice move by Brandon there. I mean, an argument for one forward is you do have a shot on the Zeta. Okay, two forward, so he will have arc on Avenger. I don't think he has coordinate range.
Yeah, it's
I
too far to
wouldn't
coordinate, so we
I
should just
wouldn't
focus.
risk it. I think I reinforce my rear in this case. Well, but
Focus.
but that's have I mentioned during this game that Charles is aggressive?
See, that's why I would have one straighted. Is because also if you don't end up with arc on an Avenger, you can still have a double modded shot on the
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you have two shots on Avenger here, so you're probably well, three shots technically. Avenger will fire his the first shot before the Zeta. I mean, sorry, the Cyanar, which is unfortunate. So you're hoping you strip the token on this 2 versus 3 shot from Psy, but the odds there are pretty low.
I think it's a 4 point game right now.
I mean, it is a 4-point game. You're literally
Okay.
correct.
At Avenger.
Oof,
Okay.
not a great roll,
Yeah.
but
Oh my god.
well, I don't know. See, I think ultimately that doesn't hurt that much, because you're going to
On
just fire
Avenger?
back. What'll hurt is if Brandon's attack roll is focus, 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 because then
True.
you have a really difficult decision to make. And here, yeah, you just don't care. Yeah. So 2 more damage on the shuttle. Doesn't matter. It was already at half points. So
Okay, the question is, can the primary attack from the Cyanar kill Avenger so that way
no,
he can shoot two targets?
no, it won't. But I think
So in
you're
that
okay in
case,
that case because I think an FO on its own can't beat Charles.
well,
Sai should be at 2, not 1, right?
so I should be at 3, I think.
No, he took 2
Oh,
damage.
I don't know. He's not. Yeah. I don't know.
This is
As
why,
long as
by the way, this is why I was saying you should reinforce Charles when you watch this game later.
yeah.
Oh, he spends
You
the
spend the
focus on the.
focus.
Mm.
Mm,
Have I at all at any point during this game said,
okay, you have 3 cards on already. Okay, cool.
so obviously, yeah, you spend that.
Now you have a naked ion cannon.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to eye on it, but you're not going to kill him.
No, you're not.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's why you don't spend the focus there on the first attack either. Welp.
Well, when you didn't have mods and you didn't damage him, I was kind of wondering if you shoot the ion cannon um at the uh at the TIE SF.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered.
Well, stripping the focus might be nice. And also, if you happen to ionize it, then it's going to be easy to dodge both of its arcs.
Well, basically at this point, Charles needs to pray that these 2 dice are not both paint
3 dice.
from the butt shot.
Oh, it's
Incorrect,
the.
sir.
I was thinking to shoot it through the.
Oof.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So that's probably game. So we've
Yeah,
got.
because you just run away with Avenger here, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could actually turn both ships on. The Cyanar's only got 3 health. You get two guns on it, it's not going to survive. Avenger fires first, and could in theory initiative kill it. So you could
Well,
finish
the
this
other
off.
thing is, the bigger thing is the Zeta's 34 and the Cyanar's 41, so that's why I was thinking trying to do a damage to the TIE SF to get half points.
Mm.
That's what I
But
was
I
thinking.
mean maybe yes, but it doesn't matter ultimately because the die roll didn't support it because he spent the focus on the lost cause attack.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and one way or the other, it's not just about pushing damage through here. It was about if you're right, maybe stripping the focus would have been a helpful attempt on the SF, but even better would be to know that Avenger was going to be again potentially ionized. And 3 versus 3 with 1 hit and a focus is not a place you want to bet on the math.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so I mean, Charles has a chance with some dice luck here to potentially still pull this in. I do think that Brandon can afford to be relatively aggressive here, given that the SF is not at half points, and he's more than the SF's half points away from losing this game. So, you know, what do you do if you're Brandon?
Well, if you want to get this over quick, you 4K Avenger and you one straight the TIE SF.
Do you not think about slooping the SF?
Nah, you want to have the mod. You want to have at least one modded shot. In fact, I might even target lock with the SF since you're not getting shot and you have the fire control system. And in that situation, actually, I might turn off Avenger um, to play the long game. Because if that Zeta can come back with a target lock and a focus, then that's, yeah.
Yeah, there's the target lock. to get the FCS reroll.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the cautious Brandon we
And
all know so well.
Brandon can also now barrel roll boost to get some space here too, and
Yeah.
he's not taking a shot. Uh, I was
Or
actually
yeah,
wondering
he's
if
just gonna
maybe Charles
target
might
lock.
K turn, the aggressor, since he very much has been trying to get the double taps this whole turn or whole game. Was he stressed going into this? I don't think he was, right?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Imagine the meta play if he'd called it and just two hearted left and rotated.
I mean,
That
the reason I liked a 4K is because you mentioned that one of the things Avenger could do is a 4K, and if you did that, Avenger's not got arc. Um, all
nope,
right,
Spencer
so
focus.
tokens and dice keep things going for another turn.
Yep.
Let's
Now I'm
see.
assuming you too hard to the right and take a target lock. Because if you kill the Zeta, you're actually up as well. But knowing that Brandon's gonna two or three hard to the right with the Zeta. Yeah, no, this is game because Charles can't get back in time to do damage.
Yeah, which was an argument for a K turn last turn.
Yep.
Because yeah, I mean, if you're Avenger now, you just what 4 forward?
Yeah, five forward.
Yeah, 5 forward blue, get the hell out of dodge, and the Zeta can afford to kind of just you could just one bank and hope you're going to get that rear shot you're looking for. I mean, this might be the one time in the game where it would be worth the barrel roll evade, but Avenger's not going to be anywhere near there. So
He is barrel rolling.
yeah, yeah, because he wants to pursue next turn,
Yeah.
but Avenger's going to be able to kind of choose which direction to go after this, and
Yeah, he I would consider taking the evade here purely because you have to not take damage to win. One damage on you causes
yeah,
a situation where you're too far behind.
yeah. Yeah, and I thought Brandon might kind of do a conservative bank just to see if he was going to be able to maintain a shot on.
And he did.
Yep. And there's the 5 forward blue. And yeah, you just make more space between you and where Avenger will be next turn,
Yeah.
which will probably be a 3 hard left.
This was an incredible game.
Yeah, it was very close until just last turn
Charles
really.
jumped the gun. You didn't give him a chance to fire control. But it doesn't matter.
Sorry everybody, my Eugenoids love to roll those defense dice the minute the red dice hit the table.
Because it's simultaneous.
No, it's not.
I know.
I'm not sure what has happened here.
My guess is Brandon's probably commenting on the fact that he wanted to fire control.
Well, their dial's going down, so it's like they're just moving on without reflecting the damage that happened there. But if it stands, it is half points on the Signar Specialists, so that's another 22 points. No, 21 points for Brandon. Only 2 hard.
Okay. Well, it's
So, interesting choice here for Brandon. Do you just barrel roll to the right? Oh, he didn't do it, so never mind. It's
So
fine.
here's the thing: is if he can find a way to do 1 damage to the TIE SF, he's back in this.
Yeah, I don't think so with him being at half points with the Sinar.
No, because the Sinar is worth more than the Zeta. So if he can get half points onto the TIE SF and then kill Avenger next
He's
turn, he can win.
he's never going to see Avenger again. Avenger's going to 5 forward barrel roll boost and game's over. Or one hard barrel roll boost the other way and game's over. So
Well, you're not going to damage that through the gas cloud if it has a
right.
focus, unless it rolls 3
Oh.
blanks.
What do we say?
Natties!
How do you win games of X-Wing, everybody? Learn how to roll natties. Did Charles double tap?
It was range 3.
Ah, got it. Never mind. All right. Our final turn.
Unless you're Vonreg or Sunter. Accurate.
So, if you're Charles and you're moving before the Zeta, you just go fast, right? Hoping you're going to be able to double tap
Yeah, you just go
Avenger.
4 or 5 straight.
Yeah. But I think Avenger has, two choices here. I think you could one hard barrel roll boost and Sinar will have no shot on you. Also, the Zeta can go relatively slow and just finish off the Sinar as well. All right, well, Charles has chosen to go slow for the first time in this game when he probably should have gone fast. He's gonna face down that Zeta Squadron. So this should be.
Hypothetically, he could kill it.
He could. It would be very lucky and very hard. But there's the thing. Now if you're Avenger, you don't really have to get out of arc because you just put
No, you
both.
just focus and shoot
Yeah.
your freaking your jam missile. You're like, oh, are you
The
depleted and jammed?
the
Cool.
mag pulse warhead.
Yeah. Take a
Like,
crit. Get. Oh. Also, if it's direct, you're dead.
yeah. True. Look, he looks like he wants to make sure he has range 2. Is the mag pulse 1 to 2 or is it 2 to 3? I can
One
never
to
remember.
3, baby.
Okay. Well,
Maybe he's just having fun barrel rolling. We're
I
on the
mean,
last
barrel
turn
rolling
anyway.
is fun. It's true.
It's a neat
Yep, there
trick.
here comes the mag pulse.
Do it. Do it.
That'll do it.
Yeet.
Do you spend the target lock?
No, you spend the focus.
Oh, all right.
It's range 3, right?
I didn't see. Let's find out. Yes, range 3.
Yeah, so you're gonna deplete it and you're out of ion turret range. Oh, come on. You spent, yeah. Do a
Wait,
crit, give it,
why would Charles spend the focus there? You're hit, it doesn't matter,
you're
right?
gonna lose it anyway.
Huh?
You're gonna lose it anyway.
Oh, all right.
Is that a console fire?
Yes.
Gorgeous. There's no better way for this game to end than the self-destruct.
All right, that's half points though on. Oh no, we're at half points. They just didn't update the ship, so.
Yeah. Jam, deplete.
Charles is going to roll nothing but natties on his 2 shots on the Zeta anyway. Oh, never mind. Well, I mean, that is a natty, technically. He must be firing at Avenger to only roll 1, right? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, that was the console fire.
Ah, yes. Okay, so he's dead. He exploded.
Yep. But simultaneous fire here.
Yeah.
How dead is he?
Wait. So he is firing at a. What is even happening?
I don't know. But he just ionized the ever living hell out of that Zeta.
And that's half points on the Zeta as well, right? I
Yes,
have
that is
no
half
idea
points.
what is going on because these clowns are not keeping track of anything.
All right,
Uh,
half points on the Zeta.
yeah.
Everybody's dead. Shall we go party in the Vassal room?
I guess so. Yeah. So I have no idea what the total is here at all.
200.
Yes, obviously 200 on the one side. The other side, there's still half points left on the Sayonara. No. Yeah.
34.
The Zeta and on Avenger.
All right, so that's 34 plus 8 plus how much is half of the Zeta? Is 15, 16,
It's
17,
fine. I'm going into their room.
9.
But it saved you.
Hello,
It saved you.
folks.
Hello
Hey there.
there.
Hi. So that was a very
How's
entertaining game.
Oh, that was so much fun.
With the nuclear four daddies.
Your your list is really good, Charles. I think you made a good choice here. The Ion Cannon
Yeah.
VTG combo is really freaking good. Um,
Yeah.
then things maybe like 2 turns ago, 3 turns ago, really turned on you with that one hard on Soontir into the kill box. We were
But I
arguing.
almost got him off.
We were arguing in both in the chat and in our room that you should have 3-hearted. I was saying you should before any of the moves were in that you should 3-hard through the gas cloud towards Vonreg because there's any turn to the right to try to avoid the cloud was going to be predictable. And you would have actually I didn't expect Vonreg to go as fast as he did. And you would have totally blocked him, and it would have been a very sort of different experience from there.
Okay.
I felt like that was one of the potential turning points of the game was, the effort to avoid
Yeah.
the gas cloud put you in a position where you were gonna just take so many shots. Rick even
I was
suggested,
going in for the kill, though. I was going in for the kill.
Sure.
That was my whole reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about kind of what you guys were looking at as your win conditions from the beginning of the game. And Charles, let's start with you.
My whole target was Vonreg. I had to get the PS initiative off the board before Suntier. That didn't happen. But at that point, I had to control Vonreg. He was my target. He was 100% my target.
Yeah, we could
The
tell
PS
because
was
like your
everything.
entire list turned right towards him at one point onto a gas cloud.
I was like, yeah, because if I'm going to control him, it's my best option. Because making sure that he doesn't get his shots when
Yeah.
he needs them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we liked kind of from the beginning is that Brandon, I liked how you had Avenger kind of going off to threaten the flank, and then you had the sort of multiple channels you were going to head towards along your the bottom board edge, but not in a way where it was clear whether you were going to split up or you were going to go long with Vonreg or what have you. And I liked Charles. I liked your opening of keeping the Psy kind of together with the aggressors, and then you really did turn aggressively on Brandon, and Brandon turned aggressively on you, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's a shooting war. So what was your approach to this, Brandon?
Kind of the same. It get Soontir off, and then just try not to get ionized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean worked fairly well until I
Until it didn't.
misjudged that 2-bank trying to unload on Psy, and
Right.
so I was sitting there, I was debating a barrel roll with Avenger, but I thought the barrel roll was going to block Vonreg.
So yeah, when we were talking about that in the booth, Rick and I were trying to figure out what you were going to do, and the ion play on the damaged aggressor was brilliant because we didn't see the 4 die versus 1 health coming, really, I'll be honest. But we were thinking that you maybe had committed to that shot with how likely it was to kill it, and had been planning to do the barrel roll, but that had made you decide not to do it. But it sounds like that you thought actually the barrel roll was going to make it more risky for you.
Yeah, I was thinking that the roll was going to block Vonreg, but I mean, staying there was bad enough. So
Yeah, I thought you might
Yeah.
with Von Rig might just do a one hard to the right, and you then deal with whatever the shuttle did, with your repositioning. Um, what made you think
Yeah.
the two bank was safer, or what was your thinking behind the two bank?
Trying to get away from the aggressors, or
Yeah,
at least get to range 3 on them, and then yeah, I was thinking I was trying to get to range 1 of the shuttle, range 3 of the aggressors there.
got it. So each of you, kind of found yourself, in really not great position at different points of this game. Ultimately, Charles, it went against you. But Brandon, was there a point where you felt like, oh God, I don't know how I can pull this out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when Von Reg went down, I was worried there. I mean, and on that opening engagement, just with kind of losing the tie early too. I was
Right.
hoping to get a little more out of him, but no. I mean, I think these lists were pretty evenly matched.
Yeah. A lot
Charles,
of overlap. A lot of overlap on pilot skill. So it
Right.
was like it did matter who went first, who went second for sure, because each ship had an overlap.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
but go ahead.
Brandon, you gave Charles initiative, I'd imagine, because
Yeah.
given primarily Von Reg and Suntir Fel, I'd imagine was your thinking there, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even right, the Zeta can roll, and the Zetas can roll and get away from the Sinars, and
Right. Assuming that the Sinars are not basically in your face blocking, right?
yeah,
Which I do think that one of the things we sort of talked about at the very beginning of the game was the contrast in player styles that we would see here. So I was saying, Charles, that you are in our sort of local community here a very very aggressive player.
Oh,
And
100%.
and Brandon, I was saying that you and Daniel share some similarities in that some players will spend tokens aggressively to push damage through, and we saw Charles, you do that quite a bit in this game.
Yep.
Whereas Brandon, you and Daniel have a tendency to hold on to those tokens to mitigate damage.
yeah,
As much as anything, I really like that we've had so many games over the last few weeks that have contrasted those two styles. Sometimes it's worked out for the conservative player, and sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes it has worked out for the aggressive player, and sometimes it hasn't. Honestly, Charles, I think in a couple places you spent focus tokens when you go back and watch the game where you might have wanted to maybe hold on to them.
But it's all luck of the draw. It's all luck of the draw.
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys just have general thoughts on the game you wanted to share? And then Rick, I'll let you have a couple questions.
Yeah.
well, that was probably the best mag pulse missile ever.
That was pretty great.
I needed to play slower. I certainly needed to play slower. With Dions, I could have played a lot slower, kept Psy behind. I needed to play slower.
I think by the way, Charles, I think you're right. I think with with some of the lists you tend to play locally, aggression plays well into the list. I think that having now played this list twice, right? You did a practice game and then you've got this game against Brandon. I think you would be well served from thinking about moving your forces into the engage a little bit slower. I think you're right. I think you're dead on.
Yeah, definitely, because that's having those double taps and the shuttle moving towards you. That's kind of scary.
Yes, super scary. Plus, the other thing that you didn't get a chance to do here that you should think about is that one thing that Psy can do because you have that one aggressor.
Angle deflectors.
Yes, coordinate the reinforce for the hilarity.
I was trying to go aggressive, as you saw. Like I'm coordinated double focus.
Yeah. No, and
yeah,
I think that
I didn't want to...
Interrupting here,
Yeah.
Charles.
Yeah.
Make sure you read all of your upgrades before your next game.
Oh, ST321.
The locks, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was never locking with ST. I never locked with Psy, so I didn't have to use it.
No, it's a free lock. When you coordinate, you get a free lock.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. By the way, your elusive use on Suntir got a cheer from both Rick and I. It was hero elusive.
Elusive boy.
I am I'm a huge fan of elusive.
I love elusive. I love elusive. Gosh darn, elusive heroic.
Yeah.
the A wings.
Yeah.
Nothing else can say it.
Elusive always breaks my heart, so I hate it, but it seems to work for everybody else. So
But it's
You
your
have to have a
dice, man.
focus
It's
token
your
when you use
dice.
it.
yeah.
You have to have a focus token when you use it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not great.
Yeah.
All
So
right, I'm gonna. Oh wait,
yeah.
keep going.
Yeah. No. Go ahead, Rick. You had some thoughts.
Um, Basically, my in-depth analysis questions. One for Charles, which was, what were you thinking when you three banged the aggressors back towards your board edge? How come you didn't go straight with them?
Because I knew Von Reg had to go. Was already stressed. Von Reg was already stressed, so he only had limited options. So when I was trapped trying to set up a kill box for preemptively.
No, when they were back at the top of the table, like
Yes,
before
because
the engage.
yes, because the reason I three banked him and didn't go straight was because I know he's got this. Oh, at the start of the game, so he's already set down there. His options are either one hard up or two hard up, and he's not going to do that because if he does that, he's entering a big box. He's entering his log. I'll be dragging him through the rocks. My option was, and I wanted to do that. It was drag him through the clouds to make him lose actions.
Okay, so I guess why I'm asking that is because when you did that, you took their arcs out of the game for 2 turns.
I think he's talking about when you were coming through the middle about 3 turns in, and you banked towards
Yes.
Psy. I think is what you're talking about, right, Rick?
Yeah, turn 2 and 3.
Yeah, that was the kill box. Because I knew Von Reg had to go straight. Von Reg had to go straight though, because he was trapped behind the cloud.
Okay.
And it was trying to set up Von Reg to either bump into one of them so the other one had a shot.
No. Not hang on. Not with this gas cloud.
Okay,
That I'm
which
moving.
got found?
This one up
Okay.
here.
That was start of engagement, right?
Yeah,
it was close. It was like turn 3-ish.
It was turn 2. That was turn 2. Turn 3 was down below.
You had an
yeah.
aggressor right here, and you three banked it. Why?
That
why
was
did
me, because I thought they were going to go aggressive. I thought they were going to go aggressive. I didn't know his play style. I thought they were going to go straight up, try to get on Cintier's butt, and I was trying to help support Cintier.
Okay. So you were just trying to cover your rear flank.
Cover
Okay.
my ass.
That makes sense. It's not the choice I would have made, but with that reasoning, it actually makes sense, so I support it. All right.
Hey.
Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
So before Charles turned in like that with his
bank.
aggressors, he had the option to just streak up the top side of the board at Avenger. What would you have done if he had turned Soontir and both aggressors at Avenger?
Oh, just collapse the rest of my list in behind him.
Okay. Do you think they could have responded in time to help Avenger before Avenger died?
Oh yeah, because Avengers because at that point that was what turn 2 that the aggressors did their
Yep.
hard turn in. So
So if they'd done a 4 straight or something instead.
well, because remember, because Avenger was coming up my board edge, so
Yeah, he
if they had come in straight, I had time to
Reset.
yeah, I could
like
one hard
Dale.
barrel roll boost in and right. So
Yeah.
so Avenger had an option to get out of there if the aggressors kept coming toward him.
So you
And then
didn't
I
think
would have
that-
been out of the game for like 2 or 3 turns trying to reset.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't think that would have been, you don't think that was you feel like that was a very safe move, not necessarily an over risky move.
No, I mean flanking's there's always a risk to flanking, but I mean as long as you have an out there and right, because Avenger did with how I had set it up, so
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you were pretty conservative coming around that gas cloud, even once Charles had kind of turned, towards, the rest of your list. And I think because he could have just two-hearted towards Avenger, and if you had been aggressive, then you do end up with 2 double tapping aggressors staring you down, which you don't want. So, I think Charles did the kind of could tell that you were going to have to be fairly conservative there, and knew he could buy some time on his aggressors one way or the other, wherever he ended up going from there, because a 2 hard or 3 hard aggressively in could just as easily have been countered. So
Okay, cool. I dig it.
cool. Any last
So
thoughts
now
you
we
guys
know
want to share?
Okay.
Fight hard, fight strong. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I dig it.
Brandon, I'll see you in the morning at 8:30 to cast.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You will not see me.
We're crazy people, but it's fine.
I want to be in that cast if it's Stefan.
It's not Stefan. We do need to get you in the game with a game where Stefan plays though.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow morning is
We'll talk it
Wolf
through.
and Daniel,
Okay.
so it should be a good
Alright.
one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you both
Thank
for
you.
playing an entertaining game on the stream. Thanks, folks who listened in to our drivel. I'm Ben. He's Rick. We've got Brandon and Charles as our players.
I'm Kermit Space Whales.
Yeah, we somehow got Charles to not play Space Whales in Jank Tank. It's amazing.
Because it doesn't have the tragedy simulator. Enough said.
Gotcha.
Or
So yeah,
advanced sensors.
we'll be back with another stream tomorrow. All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.